Hello and welcome to Informed Entrepreneur Magazine. My name is Mike Baumstark. I'm a small business owner myself, and today I'm interviewing Chris Poole, and his company is called First Column, and it's an IT company. Welcome, Chris.
Thanks, Mike.
Good to see you.
You as well.
All right, so let's start out with just telling us what First Column does, just in general. What are your company
First Column
services?
is an IT provider for small businesses. We handle anything from the simple, hey, my printer's broken type stuff, to setting up a network, servers, backbone, internet, firewalls, everything from the ground up.
Wow, interesting. Now, people that I've interviewed in your industry, one of the things I hear quite often is we like to work with 5 to 50 computers, and we really don't like doing anything less than that. But you said something unique. You said that you would actually service someone if it was a small item. Now, why is that? Why is that part of your model where other people I've talked to, it's not?
Well, I wouldn't say that it's our focus, that's
Yeah.
for sure, but we definitely don't mind taking care of the small stuff because the small stuff is what annoys the customer. And what annoys the customer is what they want fixed, and
Yes.
that's what brings in more business and letting you take care of the entire network.
Well, I'm sure that's part of why you're being successful, because looking over your facility, I can tell you're very successful. The fact that you would consider taking care of something small for somebody, it's just hard to find people that are willing to fix little things. It's kind of like we're looking for a revenue producing thing. So I appreciate saying that. So when my printer messes up at home, my office where Sheila works, I'm going to say, well, Chris told me he would take care of that.
There you go. Nice call.
All right, let's also begin with tell us where you came from, what are your origins, and what brought you to this area?
Well, I grew up in the area, been here all my life, born in Fairfax, and went away for college, but came back because if there's one thing about the DC area, it's always moving and there's always something going on all the time. You're close to the beach, you're close to the mountains, you're close to people. It's a happening place. So it's a good place to come back to. So came back here with my wife after college, and we started out. I started out in the IT industry, working for another company doing similar to what I'm doing now, and just decided that I wanted to do my own thing. So after a few years of doing that, I took the leap and got started.
Okay, so in your background, normally there's something which was an entrepreneurial spark. Is there someone in your family, or was just something that you just felt internally that drove you to think about the entrepreneurial venture?
My dad's an entrepreneur.
Okay.
He actually started his own business when he was young as well, and he has a car repair shop in Arlington.
Great.
So that's where I got the spark from.
Yes.
Doing
Well,
my own thing.
my dad was a car dealer, and it just put this spark in me that I could never get rid of. I'm not sure what it is. And I think part of it is, I remember in my scenario, I was working in a grocery store, bagging groceries, and my dad let me do some work for him also. And I remember the minimum wage there was $2 or $3 an hour at that point. And I remember I bought an old car, fixed it up, and made like $200 with not a whole lot of effort. And I thought to myself, man, I'm making this money here. All of a sudden, entrepreneurial things began to hit me, and I'm sure you noticed that with your dad's shop, that this seems to be the way to go in life. That's right. Okay, so when you made this leap, tell us about that leap. What did you do first?
Well, the first thing is I started thinking about the business, and at night working on trying to figure out how I was going to do it, because it's kind of a scary thing to make that jump from having a paycheck to starting out with nothing.
Yes.
You've been there, you know what that's
Yes.
like. And so I started behind the scenes and trying it out, talking to a few people and seeing if it would be something to move into. And just one day decided, okay, let's do it, and made the jump. That's really how it got started.
Now, was it just you initially by yourself, or was there someone in there with you starting?
Yeah, actually, it was just me, myself, to start out with. I had the support of some friends who, stood behind me and supported me along the way, but no business partners or employees starting out.
Did you know Ken when you first started out?
I got to know him actually very shortly after I started and took the leap. We met probably about 2 months or so, a month or two after I actually took the leap and got started in my own business. And a guy from our church introduced us and said, hey, you guys both started your own businesses, and I've got some office space if you want to get out of your home offices that I can rent to you real inexpensively. And so we did. We moved in together and started working together and have been working together ever since.
And that wasn't this location, it was probably a prior location?
Yeah, we've been in, I think this is our 4th location since
Okay.
that was about 8 or 9 years ago.
Now, for the audience, the Ken I'm referring to is Ken Coker. He's another business we interviewed recently. You may have seen him on the magazine.
Force Security.
Force Security, and they're in the same building, so we're pointing up because Ken's spaces include upstairs also. Okay, now, as you got started, where did your business come from? Where did the clients come from?
The first clients came from people that I knew. Just connections either at church or friends or family friends that I knew, and just talking to them, letting them know what I was doing, and they were the first people to hire me. And then that was just a couple of clients, and then moving out from there were referrals that they referred us to.
Wow, excellent.
And so that was kind of how it got started. Our first bigger client was a referral from someone I knew from church that said, hey, these guys may need some IT services, and so went in there and talked to them and got started.
Now, what is the main source of new clients for you? Is it still referrals, or are you doing other things?
Only until recently have we started doing any type of marketing efforts, and our sole source of new clients has been referrals, and still is. We really haven't seen anything turn around from any of the marketing we've just started recently. But that's also a very new thing.
Yes, I understand. Well, you're also a new member of the Level 9 Owners Council. People that have watched the videos know that the parent company, Small Business Insight, not only has the Informed Entrepreneur magazine, but we also have what's called Level 9 Owners Councils that we set up in various locations, mostly in the East right now. But I said I was willing to go help set one up in California if they wanted me to help out with that.
That'd be fun.
And I volunteer as the chairman of the local one, and Chris is a member, and that's a way that businesses get together collegially and support each other, learn some things, and quite a bit of business is actually done inside that group. We've seen some really interesting things.
Yeah, I found it really enjoyable. A lot of good information that I've learned from.
Yeah, it's only going to get better too.
Yeah.
And we're happy you're there, as well as Ken upstairs. Okay, tell me about one or two difficulties that you encountered as you got into your business, or even later in the process. A couple of things you found the most difficult about being in business yourself.
I would say the most difficult thing was going without a paycheck to get started, because that
is difficult.
That can definitely wear on you and create a lot of stress in your life.
Yes.
But other than that, one of the other things is just figuring out all the intricacies of starting a business.
Yes.
I would say that definitely getting some help starting a business by someone who's done it before would be very beneficial.
Yes.
Because trying to figure out all the legal things you need to do, all the states and counties you need to register with, and just kind of getting your ducks in a row is probably one of the hardest things about getting started.
Yeah, there's no manual for opening your business. It's like you have to do your own research and talk to people. It's kind of amazing. I mean, there may be a book out there that says, here's how you start your business, but I didn't know it either.
You still learn a lot of stuff along the way.
You do.
I know I still find that I've made mistakes.
Yeah. Normally in the form of something from the state or the federal government saying, oh, by the way.
You forgot to.
Yeah, I've had a few of those, oh by the ways myself.
Yeah. I think we're through all that now. We've been long enough.
Hopefully.
I think we've gotten them all taken care of.
Yeah, amazing. All right, so as far as something you believe has been a success for you, share that with us.
I would say just the way we run our business has been a success for us. We strive to make sure that we do everything we do in a way that would be pleasing to
clients.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Just making them happy and doing the right thing for them, so that no one can look back at what we're doing and say, that was sleazy or that was the wrong way to do it. We want to make sure that everything we do is justifiable and done the correct way. Even if it ends up being that we can't bill for that, we end up eating it and just making sure it's done the right way.
Yeah, that's very important. People really, I find in small business that when people find someone who's reliable, have integrity, they'll return your calls. You almost never want to let them go.
Yeah.
Even if you're not the cheapest person, that they never want to let you go.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel the same way. Now, when you launched out to be an entrepreneur, one of the reasons was, I assume, because you kind of wanted to run your own show, run your own schedule, produce by your own labor, and with the hope that the future would be bright. Is that accurate?
That is correct.
Now, what is a bright future? What bright future do you look forward to?
Honestly, I just enjoy the ride. I'm
Uh-huh.
I'm so much enjoying the ride, building the business. My team members are great.
Good.
We have an awesome team here, and I am just enjoying building them and watching them grow and seeing how they succeed along their paths as well. And that's honestly what I see as the future, is just continuing to build and be able to build these other families. Because
Yes.
I look at my team members as part of my family,
Yes.
extended family. And just watching them succeed as we go, that's really the joy that I get out of it.
That's really cool. A lot of people think that you get in business, you run your own schedule, when actually what happens is the business runs you
Oh, yeah.
forever. But
I got into business because I was tired of working for a boss and having him tell me what to do all the time.
Yes.
Now I've got hundreds of bosses that tell me what to do all the time.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's kind of a joke. My boss is kind of a jerk, and he believes his employees are terrible, which means I'm my own boss.
Yeah.
I would imagine that when you added your first employee, that was kind of a thrill, wasn't it, to just have someone else working for you? Is that true?
It was definitely a thrill to get started with an employee, but I will tell you it was also extremely scary.
Yep.
Because you're going from a stance where you're just barely bringing in enough revenue to give yourself any bit of a paycheck, and then you want to pay this guy,
Yes.
and he wants the how much?
Yes.
So bringing the first employee in was extremely scary, but I will tell you it was a big blessing too, to have somebody to share the burden a little bit
Yes.
and be able to reap the rewards with you as well. It was really good.
Yes. It's a big deal to bring the first employee on.
Yeah.
I remember myself.
That was the hardest employee to bring on.
It was
That's for sure.
difficult, but once you realize that can actually happen, it gets kind of interesting after that.
Correct.
All right. In closing, share with the audience your philosophical view or a tip for other owners at any level you wish, starting out, being in business for a long time, something you'd like to share with other business owners.
Absolutely. What I would say is make sure that you have the spark, because it takes that spark to be able to keep your fire going and be able to continue the business, get it going, and really be successful in it. And make sure you're doing everything you do with integrity. One of the things you don't want to do is make a bad name for yourself, because that will ruin your business faster than anything. Keep a good name, make sure that you are working hard and doing the right thing.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Chris has been a great person to interview. I'm enjoying interacting with him and seeing his business, and I hope you enjoy the video. Chris, it's been a pleasure to interview you today.
Thanks, Mike.
very much for your time.
Absolutely.